Our next fight is a middleweight matchup. Is Wanderlei Silva will have an opportunity tonight to display his great skills in the United States. A dream come true. He'll take on a submission fighter out of the state of California named Tony Petaara, as Tony Petaara puts his team on the UFC map for the first time ever. The Shark Tank competition team. Tony Petaara takes on Wanderlei Silva, the Brazilian jiu-jitsu man who was beaten by Vitor Belfort.
Highly touted Brazilian jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai fighter Wanderlei Silva made his UFC debut in his home country at Ultimate Brazil. Silva immediately found himself on the wrong side of a Vitor Belfort flurry of punches and lost the match in under a minute. Experts agree, and a mixed martial arts record of 8-2 confirms that this Brazilian has more up his sleeve than what the UFC saw on that night last October. Tonight, Wanderlei Silva looks to set the record straight.
The last time I was a bad luck. Now I will show to the world, to everybody, the real Wanderlei.
Being he's a stand-up fighter, I'd like to take him out early because I think he'll stay too relaxed and I don't think he'll gas out too fast. So I'd like to take him out early. Plus, I don't like to string it on. You know, I don't want to fatigue any more than he does. Make it a quick victory.
Well, Tony said he does not want to play his game, that game of Wanderlei Silva. Both are very well versed in submissions. Unquestionably, Wanderlei Silva, with his Muay Thai, the better striker. Tony Petaara, 32 years old, 5'11", 196 pounds, fighting for Team Shark Tank. His trainer is Eddie Mills. He's a pro kickboxer. So while it is conditioning, submission, and groundwork being the strengths of Petaara, he has worked on his striking ability. He said, I've seen him fight Vitor Belfort, speaking of Wanderlei Silva, and he knows that Wanderlei did not have a good day. He has a chance to take his shot tonight, and no doubt Tony Petaara very excited about this opportunity this evening.
Well, Petaara is a submission specialist and really lacks the kind of striking experience that Wanderlei Silva does. And when you heard him saying take him out, he means get him on the ground and lock him up. Nope. So he is someone that wants the fight to go to the ground, not stay on the feet trading bombs.
Well, when talking about the Vitor Belfort fight, Wanderlei Silva admitted he committed a technical mistake. Vitor capitalized on it. And tonight, a dream comes true for 22-year-old Wanderlei Silva from Curitiba, PR, Brazil. Fighting out of the fine country of Brazil. He doesn't speak any English, but his dream has always been to fight in the United States of America. And tonight he gets to try to earn some redemption after being knocked out 47 seconds into his UFC debut at the hands of Vitor Belfort.
Well, Belfort launched multiple punches, all of them very accurate, taking Silva out. But one has to remember, before that fight, it was Wanderlei Silva who destroyed Mike Van Arsdale, someone that was looking for a title shot here at the UFC. Silva is dangerous. When Vitor Belfort is on, his fists can go with anybody in the UFC. But Silva has more than just what he showed against Vitor Belfort. He wants to repeat the kind of performance he got against Mike Van Arsdale. We may see those kinds of skills shine tonight.
Tail of the tape for our middleweight matchup. Perhaps one of these men will fight for the middleweight title somewhere down the road in the UFC. 10 years difference in age. Silva much younger. Both about the same statistics because of this being a middleweight bout. For the official introductions, we re-enter the octagon. And here's Bruce Buffer.
Our next fight is a middleweight fight, beginning with the fighter standing to my left. He is a submission fighter with a mixed martial arts record of 6-0-2. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 196 pounds, fighting out of Rancho Cucamonga, California, and he is now making his octagon debut. Please welcome Tony Petaara. And his opponent, standing to my right, a Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu fighter with a mixed martial arts record of 8-2 and a Muay Thai record of 15-0. He is a two-time Brazilian Muay Thai champion and a veteran of Ultimate Brazil. standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 199 pounds, and fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil. Please welcome Wanderlei Silva.
Wanderlei Silva 0-1. His first U.S. appearance inside the octagon. Once again, our alternate referee, Mario Yamasaki from Brazil, originally now working in the Washington, D.C. area.
Are you ready?
We'll start the fight.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Here we go. A middleweight matchup, then Petaara comes out quickly and gets a shoot into the waist of Wanderlei Silva, closing any potential striking distance.
It's a good tactic if you want to beat a striker. Get in tight to him or stay outside of him and wait for the big punch that causes him to take a step to catch himself and then go under again.
Now, with the Muay Thai background, the knees are definitely a weapon that Wanderlei Silva possesses.
And what I don't like what Petaara is doing here is just that the action is stalled, which is allowing for those kinds of knees to be thrown. He needs to keep motion so that Silva is threatened to be taken down. If he stops and just hangs on, those knees are going to start to come up.
Now, Tony's first entrance into the octagon is tonight. Petaara did win the recent Boss Rutan Invitational, which had almost the identical rules to our UFC here, Jeff, except there was open hand striking when the match went to the mat. The knee's still a weapon being utilized here early by Wanderlei Silva.
That knee came all the way up and just missed. Great flexibility, and that's that Muay Thai background. Using lots of knees, bringing them up high, holding the head down.
Now Tony Petaara is trying to neutralize the leg somewhat by grabbing onto the right leg of Wanderlei Silva.
Oh, his head is wide open. If he pulls it to the center, that right knee is going to keep coming up. He's got to stay off to the side and try to keep an angle.
Wanderlei holding on to Tony now.
He's got his head tucked underneath in what we call a double underhook counter. The problem with this is in wrestling you don't have to deal with strikes, and right now he's dealing with the knees of Wanderlei Silva. He needs to move. He needs to rotate. As he rotates, defend against the knee that he's leaving behind. That's the one that Silva will be able to throw and get his head out from under there. As long as his head's under there, he's pinned in. He really can't move.
Tony trying to just move that head ever so slightly, anticipating the knees of Wanderlei Silva. Well, Silva, at least right now, I know he's very pleased. He's getting to demonstrate his skills a bit more. 2 minutes in. This is a 12-minute matchup with a 3-minute overtime if needed.
The other thing that Petaara can do is if Silva's knee comes up high enough, why not just snatch the leg and try to use that right away for a takedown? But I think part of the problem with snatching the leg here is that he's got both arms tied up by Silva being underneath both of them.
Now, as you know, they have to keep busy, and that one connected to the midsection, that left knee a moment ago of Tony Petaara, as he just winced a bit. They've got to keep busy on the fencing, or Mario Yamasaki will separate him. There's a holy knee, and another.
He's down. He's down. That's going to do it.
And the fight is over. Wanderlei Silva with the knockout. A dream come true for Wanderlei Silva. He wins his U.S. debut inside the octagon.
Richard Istrico in, checking over Tony Petaara, talking with him. But it was Wanderlei Silva, a tremendous tactic. He knew that it seemed, he just sensed that the knees were the weapon of choice based on Petaara's attack of trying to tie up the upper body. He really used a Greco-Roman style wrestling approach and muscle him down. And eventually he was able to get that knee up between the two arms of Petaara, caught him square on the head.
Congratulations to Wanderlei Silva. Here's the official results.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by knockout. Wanderlei Silva.
The knockout comes 2 minutes and 53 seconds into this second entrance into the octagon for that young man. Very happy. Wanderlei Silva. And he will, you can trust me, move on to fight another day. Another talented middleweight to go along with Frank Shamrock and others. This division is so darn deep.
And the one big thing here is this is a tremendous confidence boost. The last time he was in a big fight, he got mauled by Vitor Belfort. But in this one, he was able to fend off the early attack of Tony Petaara. Petaara trying to muscle using upper body tactics to try to get the takedown. And it failed. He was unable at all here to muscle him down. And in fact, it was Silva who then used this position to his advantage using big knees. He would tie up the head of Petaara, pulling it down, and then bring the knees up. And either it landed in the midsection or up near the head. And eventually it was going to be this tactic, the knees, because he didn't have the space to really use his hands, that he would find the opening, bring that knee up hard, and it was there that he really nailed him, knocked him to the ground. And, of course, Mario Yamasaki, the referee, doing a great job of intervening and stopping the fight. Another look here. Again, those knees are coming up, and Silva is relentless with him. And once he got him down there, he had tremendous leverage to pull the knee up. And tremendous technique by Wanderlei Silva. Big confidence boost. He is now looking to put himself back into the middleweight title.
Well, a great bit of redemption, as you said, Jeff, and a very relieved young man. Wanderlei Silva, overwhelmed by Vitor Belfort in his home country, comes to America and basically overwhelms newcomer Tony Petaara. Thanking the Lord, indeed a very religious, strong belief man. And congratulations to Wanderlei Silva, proving to us again that the middleweight division in the Ultimate Fighting Championship is the deepest of all the divisions. And I'll tell you what, one man who creates the depth of talent in that middleweight division is this man sitting next to me, the Huntington bad boy, Tito Ortiz. Tito, first of all, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tito, you were looking at the replays with me. You were pretty impressed with Wanderlei Silva.
Yeah, very much. I mean, I saw a lot of good knees happening there. Wow. Get stuck with underhooks like that, you got to get out of there. If not, see the damage he did. It was some pretty good damage, though. Very good.
Well, certainly his Muay Thai background and using the tactic of trying to go upper body wrestling-wise, something you're familiar with, and then really not being affected with it, he just hung on. And once you hang on, you allow the opportunity for your opponent to start offense.
Well, actually, I mean, you have to pretty much circle and get out of the position. So you get in a bad position like that, you can't stay and push the guy up against the fence. You got to learn to circle and get him out. As you've seen, I mean, God, those knees were devastating. And that's pretty much how he finished it.
And he controlled the head, it seemed, Tito, and
very
Tony couldn't
control.
Pull away, right?
Very good head control. He just stopped. I mean, I don't know if Tony does a lot of wrestling, but in that position, man, it's underhook, pick him off his feet, or circle and take him down, one or the other.
Well, Tito, how do you think you would approach a fight against Wanderlei Silva, or perhaps somebody else in the middleweight picture?
Do what I've been doing in the beginning, dominate. That's what I try to do. I mean, I use my wrestling background, and punches come. I just see what happens through the fight.
Let's talk and let's focus in on your career, Tito. You have taken out 2 Lions Den fighters, and we all know the reputation of the Lions Den is one that everyone admires because they have been as successful as any group in America. You showed some great vengeance. You showed a lot of emotion last time. You've become truly the bad boy of the middleweight division. Is that okay with you? And how would you assess your young UFC career so far?
Actually, it came up real quick here on the hill. I take a couple quick steps, and all of a sudden I'm at the top of the game, top of the food chain. I don't know. Hopefully Frank Shamrock will want to come out and sign the contract, and hopefully he'll come in here and have a little fun. Which every single time I bring a little characteristic out of myself and have fun in the octagon. So give it out to my fans.
Tito, is that what you want? Do you want Frank Shamrock?
Yes. At this point, yeah. From right now, I mean, I beat up on his 2 number 1 guys that he used to train with. So I don't know if he has a doubt in his mind maybe, or if he does want to fight, but I mean, Frank Shamrock, I never had no problem with him. He's a totally nice guy. I respect him, 110%. He wouldn't be a world champion right now if not that was so.
Well, Tito, let me ask you something. How much can you improve? You say you're young at it and how quickly the success has come for you. You're now near the top. But how are you going to get better? What is it going to take for you to realize your full potential?
Well, actually, I've been working with John Lober and working on my submission with my leg locks and arm locks, chokes. I've been working a lot on my ground skills and with my stand-up Muay Thai kickboxing with John Spencer, and that's helped me out 110%. So hopefully, I've only been in this for 3 years now, and those guys have been fighting for 8, 9, 10 years. So hopefully, I'm a young kid and have fun in this. That's what it's about. You don't have fun, how can you fight, man?
Tito, it's true, and you have showed a lot of emotion, a lot of pure emotion and excitement, and that's what we love about this sport is new talent like yourself. But you spoke of John Lober, and John's a great fighter, one of the best mixed martial artists in the world. But when he fought Frank Shamrock in Brazil, Frank perhaps was at his best.
Yes.
And Frank overtook John Lober, so what makes you believe that you can beat Frank Shamrock?
I'm a lot bigger and younger and a lot more smug of myself. I mean, hopefully I'll go out there and pound on him. That's what I plan to do. Watch out for all submissions. When Lober fought him just his last fight, Lober wasn't at his top. I mean, I've seen him 110% better. It was just his night. I mean, in this type of fighting, no one knows. It's like everybody could be at their top game. It don't matter. Every guy that's so good in here, everything happens different each night. I mean, world champion can lose one night, the next night you come around and turn and win it again. You never know what happens.
Tito, final 15 seconds of our time together. I know Frank's probably watching. Anything you want to say to Frank Shamrock?
Get ready for September. That's all I have to say.
Good luck in September if indeed we see that matchup. Tito Ortiz, the Huntington bad boy, one of the fine middleweights in the Ultimate Fighting Championship right now. And Wanderlei Silva, let us not forget, he also in that division. Another one of the fine fighters being displayed here this evening. So we look forward